not, man. I was always a good athlete growing up as a kid. I played baseball. I was always kind of, in the newspapers, man. Always was kind of excelling at athletics, and really early on in my life, I found drugs and alcohol, and it's probably around 11 years old, and kind of took off. Kind of started my, the course of my life where I was just kind of getting in tons of trouble. I continued to play sports for a little while, but then eventually the drinking and drugging took over, and by the time I was 13, I quit all sports. Because all I wanted to do was party, man, drink, get high. And in my life, from about 13 to 20 years old, completely spiraled. I was at a point by the time I was 15, I was taking OxyContin, LSD, snorting coke, all of the above, man, and I was hooked. It was what I woke up every day to do. Was just get high, completely controlled my life, and from there it just got worse and worse, And by the time I was 20 years old, I found myself, doing things I said I would never do. When I was a little kid, I said I would never be, I'd never, smoke crack, do any of these really hard drugs, and I found myself at 20 doing all these things, stealing from my family, stealing from my friends. I was unable to hold a job anymore. Could not show up, and I literally woke up every day just to drink and get high. That was how small my life became, and definitely got to a point where I wanted to die. When I wanted to die, I felt like there was no way out. I thought that I was just gonna die doing what I was doing, and I kind of accepted that, in some sick way. I accepted, like, this is it. And I was fortunate enough. At that point, I'd become so desperate, man, inside, man, that I reached out for help. And got into a rehab at 20 years old, and walked into that rehab not knowing what was going to happen to me. I didn't know what was to come in my life, but I knew I had to stop doing what I was doing, or I was going to die. And that's where I found fitness. I did a CrossFit competition in late February of 2013, and trained really hard for this competition, man. Killed it. I won the competition. Was feeling really good about myself, but at the same time I was feeling really, really weird. Like, I was feeling kind of sick. I didn't know what was going on with me. Fast forward 2 weeks, I lost 15 pounds. I could not sleep anymore because I was up urinating so frequently that I couldn't sleep. I started getting blurry vision, I started getting disoriented, and I finally, on March 11th, 2013, I drove myself to the emergency room and walked into the ER, just thinking that I needed some fluids or I was really dehydrated or something, and they took my blood sugar, and my blood sugar was so high that they could not read it on a meter. My blood sugars were over 1,000, and right off the bat, my life changed forever, and I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. And I remember sitting in a hospital just so terrified, and I didn't know what was going to happen to me, man. It was scary, really scary. Spent 3 days in the hospital. Got out, it took some time for my vision to come back. My blood sugars were so high, my vision was all messed up for about 3 weeks. And finally my vision started to come back. It was very scary to work out, because now I had to relearn my entire body. I didn't know if I was having high blood sugars, low blood sugars. It was a totally life-altering experience. And in time I started getting back into working out, and just right off the bat, man, I started just, PRing on all my lifts. I felt stronger, felt healthier, started putting on a little more muscle mass. And that's where a friend introduced me to Instagram. I went on Instagram and I saw these people doing these crazy handstands. I saw guys like on Bar Stars. And I was like, I want to be that guy, man. I want to do that stuff. And when I first started, man, that was about 2 years ago. When I first started, couldn't even do a handstand. I could barely do a muscle up. Couldn't do any of this stuff, man. I set my mind to it. I was like, I'm gonna be that guy, man. I'm gonna be that guy doing those cool tricks, man. Backflips, handstands, planches, all that stuff. And slowly but surely over time, putting a lot of hard work and dedication to it, man, I started to accomplish it. Having a lot of trouble with drugs and alcohol, I would tell them, the first step is asking for help. Number one thing, I could not have done it alone. There was no way that I could have just stopped on my own. I was at a point where I could not stop. So the first step for me was asking for help, and from there, there are a lot of options. I was able to, for me, get into a rehab and then eventually get into a 12-step program, and which really saved my life. So it's important to not try to do it alone and really ask for help and take that help. Because with the proper help, a life without drugs and alcohol, a happy life, a good life, is absolutely possible.